Hi, my name is Brian from Denmark, your tech friend, and this is the Motorola Monthly Update Show. Today's three topics are new Motorola releases, numero 2, my video about the original and abandoned Motorola Edge, so sad, and number 3, Motorola software updates. And this is going to be a monthly installment running through all series, and I want you right now to write down what Motorola you have, what Android version it is on, and does it still receive security updates, because then I'll try to make some sort of database and I can show it in a list at the very end of each monthly Motorola update show, so you can stay up to date. If you like Motorola's, then please do like and share this video immediately. Damn it, I forgot to put on Inky Blinky and Winky Wanky. Number 1. So Motorola have released no less than 3 new devices. It's the Moto E13, the Moto G23, the Moto G53, and the Moto G73. And I'm gonna run through them quickly just to get you up to date as what you can expect from these 3 phones. I would suspect at least 2 of them for review on this channel, so also a good reason to subscribe. First up, you have the E13. E stands for economy, according to country manager of Motorola Denmark, Niklas. And what immediately catches my eye on that phone is that it comes with Android 13, the Go edition. That's sort of a light version of Android. And it comes with the Unisoc T606. Unisoc is like a new processor that is actually pretty powerful, but very poor in graphics performance, or at least that's the Unisocs I've tried. But I'm not gonna say too much more about that phone other than it's gonna be released at under 1,000 crowns in Danish. In dollars, that is. Expected releases somewhere in February, and in Denmark it's gonna be on the very 1st of March. Again, Niklas, Motorola manager from Denmark, he says about the G series. The Motorola G products are solid specs, not the best of components, but a mix of good and not so good to a favorable price. So let's dig into those G series phones. And I hope you're able to see them right here. The G23 comes with the same processor as the G41 and the G31 had. And that was actually a pretty decent experience. You can see one of my videos on these phones right up here. But also, those phones had an AMOLED screen, whereas this G23 comes with an IPS LCD 90Hz 400 nits screen. And what does that mean? Well, nits is the brightness levels. And if you, for instance, live in India, you do not want to buy and have a phone that is only 400 nits, because it's just not good enough in the sun. Otherwise, you will always be twisting your phone like this to get to be able to see anything. And 90 Hz doesn't matter in that context. But that's the main take I have on the G23, because it runs with this MediaTek Helio G85 processor, and it comes with a 50 megapixel camera that actually could also be performing very well. So I'll say this phone on specs sounds actually pretty good, but mind you, the screen may be able to pull the entire experience down, unfortunately. But specs-wise, it looks fine. I've asked for this phone for review, so I will be getting it on this channel. Please do subscribe. One last thing I forgot to say about the G23 is also comes with 30-watt charger, as does the G73. But now, let's talk about the G53. The G53 is the phone not to buy, in my opinion, because of one major thing, and that is it's got an international version with only 10 watts of charging, according to GSM Arena. And then it's got 18 watts charging speed in China and Latin America. So if you live in Latin America, okay, perhaps that could be a good phone, but just mind you, if it's only 10 watt charging and you got a 5,000 milliampere battery, we're speaking a full charge in over 2 hours for the G53, and that kind of ruins the entire experience for me. But if it's not important to you, then of course, by all means, go for this phone. It has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 480 Plus. I also tested that in the Motorola G50 from a year or two ago. And it was a very decent performance, not good camera I must say, because the camera again has something to do with the CPU because of the GPU. Don't expect too much of the camera quality on the G53. And don't expect too much of the charging. And also it wasn't superbly fast, but a reasonable phone. I just think the G53 in my opinion is not the phone to go for in this lineup. But now for the phone that is the one to go for, and that is the Motorola G73. Because this phone comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 930 and a GPU I haven't heard about. So this I'm of course looking very much forward to testing it. Image BMX 8256. But it sort of smells like a Motorola phone because they are putting 8 gigs of RAM in it and 256 gigabytes of storage. And that sounds most brilliant. And by that I mean Motorola have a tendency to make things sound greater than they actually are. But I am looking forward to testing this phone because I do have high expectations for it. And I also asked for this phone for an upcoming review. I forgot to tell you that on the G53 and the G73 we got an IPS LCD 120Hz screen on there. This could be a good experience, but it could also be numbers again. And you got 15 megapixel main shooter on the G53 and G73 as well. That is a number that doesn't tell anything. It mostly relies on the GPU and the complete software you get with the phone. So those were the new upcoming releases from Motorola, and most of these phones will be released around February or the start of March worldwide. Prices I will state right up here. Segment numero 2. This video, the Motorola Edge, the abandoned parent. It was the first of the Edge series from Motorola, and it came out alongside with its bigger brother, the Motorola Edge Plus. Please go and watch that video because it's received criminally low view count. And now for the third and continuously running segment on the Motorola Monthly Update Show is software updates. And please do write down in the description what phone you have, what Android version you're using, and if it still gets security updates. You can see this is the Motorola Edge 30, this is the Motorola Edge 30 Pro. And both are on Android 12, and the latest security update is on December the 1st on both of these guys. And then I have the Motorola Edge 20. It's on Android 12 and it's got a security update from the 1st of January. And as I'm recording this, it's the 27th of January. Motorola promises bi-monthly security updates. That means we're in for updates on the Edge 30 and the Edge 30 Pro, as well as we're actually promised another Android version on the Edge 20. It was not originally promised, but that's the great news on this phone. Promised Android 13 now, but let's see it before we believe it, because Motorola's rep on these kind of updates is not always on par with reality. But we'll check up on exactly that monthly here on the Motorola Monthly Update Show. My name is Brian from Denmark. Please do subscribe to get this kind of flow going with the monthly update on Motorola phones, your Motorola phones. Please write down in the comments, as I told you, your Motorola phone, Android version, and if it still receives security updates. My name is Brian from Denmark, your tech fan, and I'll see you next month.